All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest for you. Let me give you a couple of words about my guest. CEO, marketing, author, beards. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Atlanta, the ATL, the Dirty South, give it up for Mr. Issac M Hamm the third. What's going on, bro?
Going on? How are you?
Man, I am good. Glad to have you on the show today. All right. Now, let's get right into it. You are the CEO and founder of im3media.com. What kind of company is it, and what do you specialize in?
So just recently I was able to take the .com and now call it im3 Media LLC. So within this pandemic, it afforded me the opportunity to kind of understand and see what I had in place, like my systems. And I know we just recently started following each other, connecting, but I would go on and do these morning thoughts, afternoon thoughts, evening thoughts. And I talked about for like a whole month about systems. And I had to realize that my systems was jacked up, and I had to really get my priorities, as far as my business being a LLC versus I just have an EIN number. So it was just a lot of things that I found myself doing in this pandemic because I had this downtime. We were, quarantining and, staying in the house. But the im3 Media LLC is an event marketing promotions company. So over the years, it has grown into the PR sector of things. And moving here, so I'm originally from Philadelphia, born and raised. I moved to Atlanta almost 6 years ago. March would be 6 years. And with that move, it afforded me the opportunity to add brand strategists and in the PR aspect, so the marketing was always there. Being around celebrities in Philadelphia was already there, but it's just things heighten when you move to a city like Atlanta, because that's the heartbeat of the city and the arts and entertainment. So you kind of just adjust, you know what I mean? Even though Philly is a big city, but we don't get real excited about celebrities. So our celebrities in Philly were, the morning news, people who on the radio and stuff like that. So that was our, and we watched whatever on TV, but we weren't. So being down here, everybody's excited about who's on TV. And you have to roll with the times, you know what I mean? Just like this is our new norm, doing interviews like this and wearing masks. It was like I had to realign myself with what's current, what's the new norm. So adding those things afforded me, of course, the opportunity for more income, and more opportunities to hire, staff, but also interact with other celebrities and stuff like that, or people in position that have the money, you know what I mean? Because you can talk all day and talk to somebody who does not have any money and cannot afford you. But my resume speaks for itself. I don't brag on myself, and I try to just use that to fuel me, and I let other people read about me and be excited about what I can do for them. So it's just kind of a humbling thing that I do, but I feel like I should do more. It's like,
well, you know what, man? To your point, we're going to get into your resume in a second, because we're going to talk about some of the people and some of the places you work. But we hear this a lot. We hear, about businesses or companies or small businesses, or people trying to brand themselves. Now, you've been in this line of work for a minute. What is the difference, or can you tell our listeners, what's the difference between brand and branding? Because there is a difference, and people sometimes get everything rolled into one when it's really not. So can you shed some light on that, please?
Well, I'm gonna break it down a little more than just brand versus branding, because people have to understand that there's two things. You have advertisement, you have marketing, you have PR. Those are the three things that people do for a person or a thing, right? So when people think about branding, the word brand, if I'm a brand, I do something specific that people are known for me. You think about it way back in the years, like 100 years ago, they used to brand cows. So when you were a cow, when your cow was branded, it identified Ty, it identified Issac, so I knew that was my cow. So when people are branded, it's the things that they do that people recognize. So if you have Target, you have Wawa, all these things with these theme songs, with these logos, people they know because that's their brand, right? So if I'm a person, you're a person, and my brand is, urban chic, and I always dress that way. That's a brand that I take on. So my brand is known to be this guy that dresses urban chic and reads these books and goes to this gas station. When I guess it goes to this, because it's lifestyle. Branding is a lifestyle. So how I want you to see my lifestyle is how my brand is going to be perceived. That's the easiest way, right? So what you posting on social media, right? So branding is just more the action. What are we doing to keep this brand going? But what people have to understand as well is that there's still a marketing, because if I take you, Ty, as a brand, and then now I need to know what market, so what demographic is watching this show, who are you targeting to interview? Thus, that's the marketing thing, because those are the numbers, those are the 1 + 1 = 2. Like, it has to make sense. You can have a show and you could just be like, oh, my brand is I'm a host, but who have you interviewed? So the marketing aspect is, who do we want to target? Who's our target demographic? What age demographic? What time we want to come on? How are we now going to do this? So your branding now changed, because now you're on Zoom now. You probably was in a camp. You was probably in a studio. Even though it could be internet TV, but it's your home. I'm here now with this top, but you don't know what I have on my bottom. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the new norm. Right. You get off of this and go back, honey, I'm ready to go to sleep. You just switch out and then you in the bed. So you just, like, the new norm is this, so your brand is this suit and tie, or this shirt and tie, and your logo and your banner behind you, that's your brand. So now the problem becomes when you switch your brand up and don't let the people know that you are switching your brand. So within that transition, you should be letting people, being more transparent, to let people know that things are changing. Don't just now show up and you in a whole studio. You kind of have to announce that. You have to, trickle that. Or even if you get blessed tomorrow and say, yo, it's Ty, come in the studio, and you're like, I'm here. Then you have to then put together a PR, a pitch of how you want to explain to people that now you're in this multi-dollar, $1 million studio. You know what I'm saying? So the brand is you, and that's my slogan, and that's the slogan I live by, because people have to understand your brand is your reputation. And you're as good as your last. So if I bomb on this interview and somebody replays it and say, oh, he sounds stupid, or he fell out his chair, I'm as good as my last. You know what I'm saying? So I have to always be cognizant of the fact that I speak about this and I'm consistent. And that's one of the in my book, I know we're going to talk about it, but my book is sitting right here. The Brand is You, 5 Easy Steps. And being consistent is the 5th step out of the 5 steps. And that's important, because once you get to know who you are as a brand and you understand your demographic and who you're targeting, you have to stay consistent. So consistency is very important. So that's the difference. It's marketing versus branding. You are a brand. How is it marketed? You know what I mean? When you start branding, when you get into the action of branding, it's really the marketing and the PR that comes together and places you as the brand in that particular demographic. You see what I'm saying? In that market. Knowledge.
Branding is knowledge on it. I mean, but that's why it's important to have your ideas in order before you come see someone as yourself, because I can just have an idea that, hey, you know what, I want to open up a urban streetwear line. Oh, okay. What type of stuff do you want to cater to? What is this? What is that? Like, the more you start opening up about the business plan, you realize, and you've seen it, most people don't have a clue. Like, they may have 1, 2, sometimes 3 steps in, but when it's like a 17-step program and you only get to step 3,
right,
there's an issue. All right. So, man, let's just go on and let's just talk about your experience, brother, because you have over 15 years of experience managing brands. You've worked with celebrities, some of the celebrities. Let me just name drop. I'm going to do it for them, y'all. All right. Cheryl Lee Ralph. I know who y'all know it is. My target audience. We know who Cheryl Lee Ralph is. R&B Platinum Group, SWV. Trust me. 90s, yes. I know all about that. 2-time Grammy Award winner, Algebra Blissett, along with companies like Verizon Wireless, Lexus, etc. Brother, let me just ask you this question. What is the one main lesson that you have taken away with all of this experience that you've been around, what is the one main lesson that you've taken away from this?
I just think like anything, like being consistent, like I said, like, and just knowing what you're not going to fall for. Like even working with somebody like Shirley Ralph, she's a hustler. Like, I mean, yeah, she is a diva in the good sense of diva. She is a legend, but she's a hustler. She gets out there and she works. She don't need all that, all these people around her. She is a hustler. And if she's been in this industry for so many years and she can still get out there and pull her own cart, sell her own product, then why can't you? You know what I mean? Some of these people sit around and they want all these people to handle for them. You got legends like SWV that take the time out to talk to their artists. I mean, talk to their fans and love on them and communicate with them and stuff like that. So I'm a fan of like older artists, 90s babies. You know what I mean? Like Teddy Riley, Tony Terry. Like I'm friends with all of those people, which is great. I'm friends with Damien Paul more so than Teddy Riley. Let's just say that. I like to make sure that people understand. But what I will say is that because my presence is so present when I'm present, people remember me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always grateful for that. A lot of people want to collect these celebrities. They want to collect these people. And I don't want to collect people. I want to be able to know that the last time they saw me, we had a ball. And when I see you again, we're going to laugh about it. Like Carl Thomas, like I said, Teddy Riley. It's just so many people. Like I met Tamia, and every time I see her, it's just love. I met I just met so many daggone people in my career, and I'm actually going on 20 years. That bio that you sent was just needed to be updated. But yeah, I started as an intern in Philly in 2001, so my experience started the day that I became an intern. And I don't knock that day one, that first second of coming into the internship meeting. Well, not technically going in for the interview, because I had to be prepared. I had to prepare myself to be the next intern, you know what I mean? Then I had to prove myself as an intern. So that was day one of work, you know what I mean? Because even a quick story, I almost didn't get that internship. Luckily, how they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'll go back to that, because I don't believe in that statement 100%, because I feel like it's what you know get you to who you know. Because if I was less than smart, if I wasn't intelligent enough to get to know the right people who can move me through these rooms, then it's really not who you know, it's what you know. It's I knew something to get me to who I know, so now I'm able to get to where I need to be. So she wasn't a mentor, but a friend of mine, Miss Westcott, she happened to know the program director, and I missed the deadline or something, or they never called me back. They was at the Community College of Philadelphia. They was looking for interns. I applied. They never called me back. And because I had a great relationship with her, just being a student and coming to see her and hanging out and just, coming to, talk to her and support and all that stuff, she made a phone call and I got that internship. So yeah.
So to your point, man, what you know, sometimes if you know how to be social and have that social currency with people, that opens up doors for you, which leads to who you know. So, man,
I can know Diddy, I can know Puff Daddy, I can know Snoop, I can know all these legends. But if they put me in a room, I know you. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Okay, I know them, but then what do I know? How do I know how to act in that room? So people forget the fact I can know everybody and they can put me in rooms, but how do I maneuver in that room? How do I get out of that room? With connections? How do I know? Do I know how to elevator pitch? Do I know a 30-second pitch that I would be able to sell somebody from one floor to the next? These things that people don't think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you sell these people? Are you going to be a fan? Or are you going to be a business person and say, hey, Diddy, I can do this for you? I don't even talk about this, but I applied to be, and I recorded it, but I auditioned to be the Work for Diddy. Remember he had that show?
The band?
Yeah, he had that show, and people had to work for him because it was the season. I think he was going for 2 seasons. It was the transgender woman, and then it was just like a bunch of random people. But I remember driving to New York from Philly, recording the whole experience, getting to round 2. I drove the first time. My sister let me order her car, a Nissan Sentra, and then the second time I took a bus up there, and I didn't get it. But I know from that experience that they literally, it was me and this other guy, and it was me, the other guy, and I had to prove myself of why I should get this. And I had to chop him down. I mean, I didn't know this man, but I told the guy that was asking the question, why shouldn't he get it? And I just tore him down because I was fighting for my position. And I didn't get it. I mean, I didn't make him cry, but it was just like, I had to show this person, like, I can go for, go toe to toe with people. And it was a cool experience. And those little things build me to where I am today. And those are the experience. They say you need 10,000 hours worth of experience to be an expert at something. And I probably tripled that in my time, because I put in a lot of work. I put in a lot of free work. I put in a lot of paid work. I put in a lot of work I didn't even know I was doing. Like it was.
Well, I mean, but you know what? That leads us into our next question, because you're now a author, of 5 easy steps to building a successful brand. The book you had earlier, The Brand Is You, Yeah. So how is this book going to help those looking to build or start or keep their brand, going or take off?
Well, this book, okay, so I always let people know, like, this book, you read it, it's 40 pages. You don't read it and become a millionaire. This book is really to jumpstart your creativity. It's jumpstart things that you put down. I gave this book to my cousin, and she's not in the industry. She may be 50, I don't know, but she's like chilling. She's like whatever, and she read the book and she felt motivated. She said, "Wait, am I a brand?" I said, "Yeah, everybody is a brand. Everybody has a brand. Your reputation is your brand." You know what I mean? Because how come Target is a brand? Target's reputation. If Target has bad customer service, that their reputation is bad. Their brand is now bad. So if people start looking at themselves like regular people, like if I'm a CNA, RN, if I drive a truck, you're still representing something. Whether you're representing your household, whether you're representing your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, you're still representing something. So therefore, your brand is what it is. If you're a mean person at work, then your reputation is that you're mean. Right. So, but yeah, this book was birthed out of sitting still. Being in a house and realizing that I already started a book. It was gonna, and I'm still gonna do the book, but originally The Brand Is You. I'm not famous, just popular, and it was gonna tell a story of my story and my experiences. But then I just looked and said, okay, I have about 7 chapters, but I have 13 ideas of chapters, and I just grabbed one and I said, let's just start doing ebooks. So when I realized that an ebook is something that you can do, because I was sitting still and I was able to research stuff, I was like, oh, called my homegirl, Taryn, was like, yo, I want to write a book. She's my editor for everything, bios, whatever I send her. So she's like, cool. I literally wrote 100% of it. She came and added another 20% to it. She added about 1,800 words to what I already had, which was cool because she didn't have to do much. She just kind of like filled in some of the flat parts of it. If I tell a story, she kind of like gave it some more like, walk in the store and I walk out the store. It's like, no, what did you smell in the store? What was that experience? So she kind of like filled those things in. So you just get a better flow and emotional. You're more emotionally attached. And, any commas or periods and missing, whatever, she's there. And she's actually helping me with my other book. And that one is going to be called Please Excuse My Ums. And that book was birthed because for the third quarter, I kind of took a break. And everybody's like, you're not working, what you doing? Da, da, da. And I'm like, well, I have a savings, so I'm good on that. Right. I don't overspend. I don't live above my means. So I'm able to chill, and I knew fourth quarter I was going to kick back into motion and in this fourth quarter off right. But when you think about it, when you're speaking at a conference, a TED Talk or whatever, and you're speaking and you got a whole bunch of ums coming out, they say that you're supposed to take a break. When you feel an you're supposed to say, get your thoughts together and this and the other. So this video, and I say this in all my interviews, if you play this back, I probably said about 100 times, but which is fine. Because I'm transparent and I'm letting you know, like, this book is birthed because I should know how to pause and so I can get my thoughts out. So I changed it from ums to but Yeah, so the book is going to basically talk about systems and how we need to take a break, realize what our systems are, and how we. So, a prime example, you have a show. Your system is a publicist hits you up. Your system is respond to the publicist with dates, and then they respond back and say, "Oh, Isaac can do this, that, and the other. Whoever can do the dates." Then your next step is send them the information confirmation. Closer to the date, you're sending them the Zoom call. So that's a system that you have in place. It's a lot of people who don't have a system like that in place. So when you think about, please excuse your ums, you may have to and take a break, get yourself together, your thoughts, and then present it to the world. So that's what the book is going to be about. And then I have a workbook coming out too. That's pretty much done, but I had to push it kind of into the first quarter because I had the beard line and I had the book and I was still pushing that, and then the end of the year holidays and stuff like that. And then the fourth quarter I start taking up more clients. So I kind of just got to push things, into top of 2021.
Hey man, look, but that just means you have more coming up, and there's just more on the horizon for you. And thank you for letting me know I have a system. Man, I didn't know that. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, because as you said before, sometimes people don't know that they actually, everybody's a brand. You just don't know it, and there's certain things that you do. So I thank you for that. Because in my mind, it's just okay. I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna send this. It's just, to me, it's just common sense, but to someone else, it's a system. This is just how you do things. So,
but once you realize, so when we get off this call, you're gonna be like, I have a system. You're gonna get more excited about it. You're gonna find yourself systematically I need to boom, boom, boom. You're gonna probably find yourself putting stuff on your Google Calendar, reminders. It's gonna jumpstart something in you to make you feel like, oh man, I was doing something right. Because sometimes we think we're doing a lot of things wrong, but when you find out, oh shit, what I was doing was right. Okay. Ike told me this. A lot of people responded and agreed to it on this call, or whoever, when they watching and stuff like that. That's just confirmation. That's just and I tell people too, with the confirmation of when you're unsure of what you want to do, and people are walking up to you and saying, "Yo, you're a host. You should host this. Can you do this? Can you your voice?" Then you become a host. Sometimes you gotta wait for people to tell you what you should be, so you can know that you're doing the right thing. Because there's a lot of people out here, I have a section in the book about knowing your position, and then also too, when I do my speaking engagements, I talk on knowing your no. So no means no. So know your no, because a lot of people are in management and they're not supposed to manage. A lot of people are assisting and should be managing. A lot of people doing PR and they should just be an assistant. A lot of people, it's just a lot of people. It's a lot of singers that should not sing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people in marketing and PR. I mean, somebody watching this may be like, well, I do know what I'm talking about because I went to school for it and I have hands-on experience and I have proof, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of people that's just fluffing it around and not doing anything and selling sex versus talent. You know what I mean? I always tell people, if I had abs, I'd be on Instagram shirt all week here. I bet you I get a whole bunch of business because they just want to, so it's it's really unfortunate how we think as people, and all that glitz and glamour stuff gets you, but that's just people hiding behind the smoke and mirror. Put them in the work.
You nailed it right on the head. It's all smoke and mirrors, brother. And man, I thank you, and I just try to be as transparent and as possible, and it is what it is with me. And I thank you. So let's just talk a little bit more about you, man. Your new business venture. You're an entrepreneur. Tell us about this Be Unique beard oil and what brought that idea on, because you're talking about smelling like vanilla and all that, and getting real good on.
So this is the beard oil.
Okay, all right. I see you.
So it's a little black and white combination. The beard balm. Let me see, because I have it somewhere. I was filling orders today, so it's kind of all over the place.
That's all right.
So this is the beard balm, and it comes in this tin.
Okay, all right. I like that.
And then the actual beard comes. It comes with a dipper, dropper thing. Mm-hmm. So you can put about 5 drops and you just apply it to your beard. And this venture really came about because I have a full beard and nobody's ever asked me to be like the face of their beard. And back to, if I had abs and muscles and stuff, and I will probably have a whole bunch of deals on the table where people are like, yo, support this, wear your shirt here, can you put on, like, you know. So I just said, you know what, this is the season of really getting your stuff out there, you know, multiple streams of income. I mean, I probably have over 7 streams of income, because I do websites, I do electronic press kits, I do the marketing, I do consultation, the book, the beard oil, you know, I'm working on the second book. So it's just like, why not do all these things? Why not? If you can afford to do it and you have the time to do it, why not put it out there? Because as I'm asleep, I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people are purchasing my books and stuff. And I'm not saying every second I'm just going in, I'm rich, but I love the fact that when people get my book, they are learning, they're passing it on, they're growing, it's like being a teacher. It's like, you know, you run into your 3rd grade teacher and she see that you're doing well, how hard it's going to be like, oh my God, if my teachers from middle school saw me right now, they'd be like, you was as bad as I don't know what in the world, how, you know what I'm saying? But not that I was bad where I was heading to being locked up. I was just typical bad, you know, getting out my seat, talking too much. I was that bad. Not cussing teachers out and throwing stuff and breaking nothing. I was just the typical bad little boy. And it's just funny because at the time I was bad little boy, but now it's like, that really helped. You know what I mean? So it's just funny. So I feel like I'm a teacher in a sense when people are asking me to speak or calling me and saying, hey, I'm going to get your book. It's such a rewarding feeling to have people retweet or repost and tag you, and you didn't even know that they went on Amazon versus going through your website. So it's cool. It's a really, really cool experience. And once you become an author, people really know. I'm like, I've been talking about this stuff. All this that's in this book literally is what I talk to people about when I do one-on-one consultations. I'm asking you who you are. What do you want people to see when they see your brand? And a SWOT analysis. You know, for people that's watching, you know, do a SWOT analysis. That's when you write down your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And how it's designed, it's like a box, and then you put like you have 4 squares, and then you put SWOT, and it's your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And sometimes you can have all 4 boxes filled with not all of the same stuff, but like talkative. That could be a strength, that could be a weakness, that can be an opportunity, and that can be a threat, because you can talk yourself into getting money, and you can talk yourself out of getting that money. Yeah. You could talk too much to where they're like, I wanted to hire you because I love what you say, but you talk too daggone much. You may gossip talk, you know what I'm saying? Or you may not talk enough, which is a weakness. And sometimes your weakness can be that you're not educated enough to have proper How many people do you see talking a great game, but you listen to them articulate and speak, you know, and they sound ghetto as I don't know what, but yet they win it on social media. Everybody's following, they have all these followers, right? But then that's a niche that they have. That's a market. But if your client is like, okay, you got all these followers, but I need you to go in these boardrooms with me, and you can't hold a proper conversation, then that's a weakness. So it's just like it can go from one extreme to the next. You can be an educated person, but may need to learn some bigger words. You know, let's say if you want to go into politics and you're like, no, I can spell, I can write, but I don't know everything in politics. Right. I know everything in religion, but you may not know everything in politics. You may know how to do sports, and you may know every call and every little innuendo name and all that stuff, but you can't go in another room and speak as fluent as you can for it. So it's always room to grow as a brand. You know, so that's pretty much what I'm saying. When you look at the SWOT analysis, you can then determine where you're failing at and where you're succeeding. And sometimes you may need to get a group of an odd number of people and you know, and have them throw ideas out there and get their response. Different ages, you know, whether they 60 plus, 40 plus, 50, you know, straight, gay, male, female, Asian, black, like get a group of people in a room and start asking those questions. And then you realize what you're selling is not working. Because you need that odd number to break that tie if everybody is agreeing. Because if you get everybody in a room that's a fan of yours, you're not gonna get a true statement. You're not gonna get a true result. I mean, if you got some friends that keep it real and they your friend, they'll take a bullet for you, but they keep it real, they can come in a room. But if you got people that are fans of you and they just be like, and they like you, or they, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not good for this little group thing.
There's nothing wrong with criticism every now and then, because I feel
you're
better, you know. And
it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
I had a client tell me that I spelled experience wrong, and it was big as day. And I looked over my electronic press kit that I sent her, and everywhere else, experience is spelled right. This one particular part in my electronic press kit, it was in orange, and it was big as day, and experience was spelled wrong. I said, "Oh my God!"
See,
So let me tell you. So my personality, my relationship with her fiance, let her not even judge me off of that. She jokingly told me that, but my personality, period, would not allow people to feel like I'm not coming to you like I'm perfect. So the imperfections is like, you gotta change that. Or they may not say nothing because they appreciate what I'm bringing to the table. So sometimes, my brand is good because my referrals come because of great people that refer me. So they're not even worried about the tech. They're not worried about the text. They worried about the experience. They're worried about what I can do for them. So when you get to a point where people are not really reading what you're sending them, but they just want to be attached to you, that's a blessing to have that.
I got you. Okay, all right. So look, man, you've been dropping all this knowledge for us. If people want to get in contact with you, how do they do that? How can people, reach out to you?
But they can go on my website. It's IM, so I as in Isaac, M as in Mary, the number 3. Media, media.com. You can just inbox me on Instagram as well, Izzy Ike, IZZYIKE, which is both Instagram and Facebook. And I'm like, that's me on my Instagram. So I mean, if you DM me, that's me. I do charge to talk to you for hours, so don't think I'm going to talk to you. I may talk to you for 15 minutes and then hang up on you and send you the link. I may give you that because you want to hear my voice, make sure I'm not a robot. But other than that, get a 15-minute and you make an appointment. Because I can't be giving away all this knowledge for free, and then you walk away and you go to somebody else and have this conversation with somebody, and then they're like, "Oh, I can do that. Oh, that's what he said." No, I'm not doing that. I tell people, bring a pencil and paper, because if I'm talking to you, I'm not writing nothing down. So you write it down. And you hire me and bring that piece of paper with you, like, we talked about this, then the other, because that one shows me that you are interested in what I'm saying. That also tells me that you are interested in being something. So if you can't write it down and put it in a place where you won't lose it, I'm not writing this stuff down. I tell people it's like when pastors, when they're speaking in tongue and they just go in and they prophesy, like, that's me, because I just snap into this thing and I'm just giving you everything you need. And I'm like, you better write that crap down, because when I come out of it and that hour is done, if you ain't send another cash, no.
See,
I'm coming out of it. You ever go to church and they like, all right, 30 seconds, and that little praise break, and they supposed to stop at the 30 seconds. That's the thing. No. I'm like, oh, let me come out of it.
No.
I didn't hear the ding of the Lord. No, man.
All right, brother. So look here, man.
No, I want to make sure that people know that I am joking. I'm so not money driven. I'm more driven to see people be successful, because sometimes you can help somebody out and they turn back around and be a millionaire, and they come back and hire you and whoever else you want, and they have a budget. So I never really look at people as less than, and I need to get over on them for whatever. So I'm definitely that guy that's like, if you come to me and you're like, hey, this is what I have and what I don't have, and if I can get, and you can say you can bring this, that, and the other, I'm good with it. I'm joking about my Cash App and people making that appointment and stuff like that. And even with Cash App, I don't take Cash App. I have a system, this system that allows you to pay. You answer about 6 questions and you pay at the end. And that's how I know that you're serious. And then I take those questions, your answers to my questions, and then I have a better understanding of who you want to be, where you want to go, and what's your next step. So
there you go. Hey, talk to the man, go see the man. I'm telling you, he has plans for you. He can get you to where you need to be. So this brings me to my very last question, the question my show is known for, so I have to ask. Mr. Isaac M Hamm. Excuse me, sir. Please forgive me. What is the one word that best describes you, and why?
The best word would be passionate. Because I'm passionate about what I do. Like, I get excited. I've literally been this excited since 2001. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 5 years since moving here to Atlanta. But just imagine these 5 years. In the 15 years that I've been doing it, I literally had a job. I was leaving. I was doing open mic for 8 years in Philadelphia. I was assisting this and doing this and managing that and running these events and literally changing my clothes in the car. Majority of my jobs that I work, been in like banking and stuff like that. So it's like suit and tie, shirt and tie, jacket and tie. I'm literally in the backseat just taking my clothes off, putting on whatever street clothes, and then I'm out there and I'm running my event, I'm running on fumes, but yet I have to be the best that I can be and deal with the drama, you know what I'm saying, at the event or whatever that's not drama. Drama doesn't follow me, but dealing with experiences to make my show run like it should run. So, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, I know your audience may not know everybody, may not be from Philly and they know X, Y, and Z, but it's a lot of people in Philadelphia that are staples in that city, and I've worked with them. I don't know if you're familiar with Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack is, so he's best friends to Will Smith. Like, I did his wedding. Tyrese was in the wedding. Will Smith was in the wedding. Troy Carter was in the wedding. So
I do know who you speak of because Will Smith used to have a song called Charlie Mack's First Out the Limo back in the day. Yes, I do. Trust me.
So he's like, he is like the mayor, and it was such an honor to do, who's doing a wedding with Tyrese, Will Smith, and Troy Carter, and Jazzy Jeff is in the wedding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could take that. That's going with me to my grave. Like, what do you mean? Like, tell me somebody who, like, that's hip hop at its finest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's good R&B and hip hop, a good mixture. And Dougie Fresh was the surprise guest, but I was the coordinator for the whole thing. I literally like tasted the food that we ate at the wedding. I mean, shrimp was like this big. Wow. So I did his celebrity weekend. You know what I mean? AJ from 106 in Park, when he first got on whatever Hollywood, whatever show he was on. Little Mama, like all these people that I now run into being here in Atlanta, going to award shows. The city is, of course the world is how it is now, so no in-person stuff, but I miss those things. I miss going to LA for Grammy Week. One year I went, it was Grammy Week and it was NAACP Award Week, and I partied the whole weekend. Had a party, Kathy Hughes, who big shout out to Miss H. My mentor, I always got to shout her out, Deanna Williams. She's the co-founder of Black Music Month. I am coined the godson of Black Music Month. Black Music Month was founded in 1979 by Mr. Gamble, Ed Wright, and Ms. Deanna Williams. I advocate hardly, like that is like I live and breathe Black Music Month. And I did an event called the Comeback Philly Style. I did it in Atlanta, which is called the Comeback Power Brunch, and I did it in Nashville, which was called the Comeback in the Mix. Okay. And I did it in 3 different cities. And it's just dope, man. It's just really dope. The people that I'm afforded the opportunity to meet via Deanna Williams and Mr. Gamble, and it's just I live a dope, cool life, like low key, like I'm attached to a lot of people.
I'm gonna give it up to you, man. Like, seriously, just talking to you, just having this conversation with you, and reading over your bio, just reading some of the things and some of the people that you've met, some of the things that you've done, and just talking to you, I can tell that, man, so far you've lived a pretty full life, man. And I mean, kudos to you, because as you said, man, you have to, be in a room with people and know how to act in that room when you're, when you're with those people. So like you said, you can know tons of people, but if you don't know how to interact when you're in the room with them, what good is that? Yeah,
it's like, do they see you in a room? You can be in a room all day, but do they see you? You know what I mean? And that's the crazy part. I adopted this new slogan, my new little slogan that I say, and it's like, leave a legacy, not a problem. And I put that in my books too, and a lot of people really like write that down, and they kind of put that in their thing, because leaving a legacy, not a problem. When I die, I want people to read that I changed the mindset of people, the perspective of this and other marketing. If I die tomorrow, your viewers are going to say, oh, I thought branding was this, I thought that was that. I'm changing the mindset of people, which is cool, you know what I mean? And you take this information and you make it your own, but just remember to stay true to and stay consistent to what you want people to know that you do. And I've been staying consistent since 2001. I'm a little harder now. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing for free. You gotta pay me.
Well, I mean, but that comes with the experience, and I mean, man, like you had to go through the trials and tribulations to get to where you are. So why not? Hey, look here. For real, it's to be sold, not told. So there it is. All right, man. I just want to thank you for coming to the show, man, and dropping all this knowledge on us, man, and just giving us, like your experience and everything you have going on with you. And man, look here. Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. No one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can catch me on social media, Instagram. You can catch me on Facebook and YouTube at Word with Ty Brownlow. Follow me on Twitter, Ty Brownlow TV, or just go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this interview plus other great interviews. And man, Mr. Issac Hamm, thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right.